Guys, we're here to talk about this little girl. And no, you are not seeing a repeat story. This is a different girl. And I don't know what's going on here in America, why we have all of these babies disappearing. But nonetheless, I want you to know some things about this little girl. Her name is Taylor Rose Williams. She's 5 years old. Let me turn this mic down just a little bit so I'm not too hot. But she's 5 years old, and this is coming out of Florida, okay? Now, Friday marks the third day that this 5-year-old girl has been missing, and she was reported by the police, and they also have a Amber Alert out for her. Now, the child was reported missing by her mom, who you can see right there in the screen. We're going to talk a little bit about the mom, but her name is Brianna Williams, and it's spelled Brianna Williams, and this was on Wednesday around 7:20 a.m. Brianna Williams told police that she last saw her daughter. Again, her name is Taylor Rose Williams. The little girl was only 5 years old, but she told police that she last saw her daughter around midnight in their Brentwood home on the 600 block of Ivy Street. Okay? Now, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement issued an Amber Alert for her, which is still in effect currently. But here's some things that I need you guys to know. First of all, the mother is no longer cooperating with the police. That is a huge cause for concern. Everybody let me know that you heard me. I know it's buffering right now. It's not much I can do about it. I don't know why it's doing that. I mean, I literally have nothing else connected to this internet. Like, I don't know. But if you guys can hear me, give me a thumbs up in the chat. Please click the thumbs up. Share the stream. Let everybody know that we're live. Can you guys hear me? Let me make sure I can hear myself. Give me a moment. I'll check it out. Yes, that's a huge red flag. Let me make sure I can hear myself, though. Let's see what happens. Nothing else connected to this internet. I don't know. I can hear myself. If you guys can hear me, give me a thumbs up in the chat. Please click the thumbs up. Share the stream. Let everybody know. Let me make sure I can hear myself. Guys, for as many people as we have watching, all I've asked for everybody to do is just click the thumbs up. That's not a very hard thing to do. I know y'all want me to go ahead and move on with the story. I need you guys to click the thumbs up, please. Everybody do that in unison. Okay? I'm going to read that part again. Her mother is no longer cooperating with the police, even though she was the one that initially made the report of the missing girl. Now, during a news conference on Thursday, Jacksonville Sheriff Mike Williams said, again, the mother, Brianna Williams, has stopped cooperating with the police. That is a red flag. We're talking to her about some inconsistencies. Remember that word in her statement, and that's why she chose to stop cooperating with us. So some of the things that she reported did not make sense. They documented it, and they realized, wait a minute, something about what you're telling us does not seem right. And again, I think you absolutely should be able to give an accurate account of what happened to your 5-year-old daughter, because a lot of this is not making sense, okay? Brianna Williams was the last person to see baby Taylor, who you see right there on my screen, and we need for her to cooperate in this investigation. There's not one scenario or theory that we're not exploring, and every possibility is being looked at. And I'm going to tell you guys my personal feelings. I think we have another story where a mother has done something heinous or caused her daughter to end up being in a situation like this. I don't know if my channel members are in here. Can we get a big belly Bowens emoji in the chat? Can we get a triple B's in the chat? The big belly Bowens emoji? Because this reminds me a whole lot of the situation that happened in Houston and 3 or 4 other stories that we've done just in the past couple of months about these negligent mothers. All right? It seems like you have willing participants with the fathers. If you were to just give custody to the fathers, it seems like these girls would be perfectly fine. But what do? These girls end up missing. They end up like I don't know if y'all have noticed this also. A lot of the stories that have been coming out about these children being trafficked, I've got a lot of those stories I could do also. I can't do them all. I can't talk about them all. There are absolutely too many. Like these law enforcement agencies are doing a hell of a job, and they're busting these people that are actually sex trafficking these children. I am afraid, man. I don't know what's going on, okay? Now, JSO is also asking anyone who's seen Taylor Williams and Breonna together in the past 6 months to contact the police. If you know something, what is our saying? If you see something, please say something. If you see something, please say something. Now, JSO has said it's had more than 300 officers and personnel assisting in the search for Taylor. That is a lot of people looking for this baby, okay? Search parties were looking in the 2 major locations, one near her Brentwood home on Ivy Street and at Breonna Williams' prior address, and that address is 7651 Paradise Island Boulevard on the south side. Now, the search included K9 units, mounted units, which is the cops on horseback, dive teams, so they were searching in the lakes, and going door to door for blocks. During a press conference on Thursday, JSO said it's scaling back on its search because that's a lot of man hours and that's a lot of people to be trying to contribute to this search in order to find this baby, especially if they don't have really any leads to go on, okay? Now, police are now investigating. Point number 3 about the baby's father. The father of Taylor Williams, his name is Maurice Tate, and it's spelled M-A-U-R-I-C-E. Tate, T-A-T-E, Maurice Tate. That's the father's name. So I'm glad that we've heard from the father. But he spoke to First Coast News by phone saying it's been a minute since he saw his daughter. Now, why does that sound so familiar? Because it seems like a lot of fathers out there can tell this story about the difficulty that they have to go through just in order to see their kid. They have to go through hoops. They have to go through the craziest stuff. They get berated by the mothers just in order to try to see the child. Like, why would a person try to put you through so much bullshit to see your kid and then expect for you, well, you got to just fight through it. Just fight through it, bro. Anybody who thinks that a man should continue to just keep fighting through it, I think are stupid people. Anybody who says that, I think they're stupid people. You don't need to keep fighting. There's no reason to keep just continuing to just fight a pointless ass fight when the system is set up for men to not be able to gain custody of their kids and for mothers to continue to just keep drawing money out your check and then talking crazy to you. You know what? If they're going to take your money, then just like my brother Tommy said, shout out to my brother Tommy Sotomayor, I understand. I understand if you walk away, because in most situations, if the man does walk away, then it saves the kid. For a man that actually is trying to make an effort to see their kid, it actually puts them in more danger because the mom wants to prevent that. Another case would be the Anaya Day Garrett case. How many of y'all remember that out of Cuyahoga, Ohio? I did that story as well. And we talked about that when the father, Michael Garrett, wanted to get custody of his daughter, and it seems like he was going to get custody. So the mom, 4 days before their court date, her and her boyfriend killed the baby about the same baby's age. All of these stories have a huge correlation, okay? Now, the father lives out of state, and he's been in communication with JSO, but if he intends to actually come to Jacksonville, because I'm sure he probably has to try to work and probably has home responsibilities in order to take care and have a place for him to have his head, okay? Now, First Coast News spoke to a colleague who works with Breonna Williams, and he described her to be a kind-hearted person who was always smiling, willing to go out of her way to help others. But when she returned to work on Thursday, she was sad. She was really sad, like someone cried their last tear, he said, which is, I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. Breonna Williams, and let me see if I can get that photo back up on the screen, because I want y'all to take a look at this photo, because it's very, very important. It's an important element of the story. Let me get back to her military photo, if I can find it. This one. Breonna Williams, the mother, is a first-class petty officer who works in the Tactical Operations Center in NAS Jacksonville. The colleague, who was asked to remain anonymous, said Brianna Williams was dressed in uniform when she returned to work. He also said that she spent Wednesday at JSO. So it seems like that she was a part of the military. I'm not sure of the level of that, but nonetheless, that's an important piece. Here's the next point. Tiffany Nicole said that she and her fiance responded to a Craigslist ad. I don't know how many of y'all still use Craigslist. I stopped using Craigslist a long time ago. But nonetheless, Tiffany Nicole said that her and her fiance responded to Craigslist by Brianna Williams on a Sunday asking for help moving into her Brentwood area home from the Southside apartment complex. And while helping her move in, Nicole said that she never saw Taylor Williams during the move. The strange thing was that the strange thing that was off to me, I don't know why they use so many of those words together. What was off to me was that she told my fiance there was a daughter in the bathroom and she heard the water running, she said, but we never saw the child. We did load up a pink and purple toddler bed. Here's the last point. The Florida Crime Stoppers also issued a reward for up to $4,000 for anyone with information that could help find this baby. And again, you can also find their Twitter feed, which is at FCC Crime Stop. It has enhanced the reward up to $4,000 in this case, and they asked that if you have any information, call the phone number 866-845-8477. And if you guys can't hear, if it's buffering, do not fret. We will upload the replay of the story here tomorrow, so you guys will be able to watch this stream without any type of buffering. So I apologize for you guys that are watching live, but apparently this is going to be an ongoing issue, okay? Let's go ahead and give you guys the fair usage, and let's go ahead and tell the rest of this story and let you guys hear from the news. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Let me get my video. Here we go. All right, let's go.
It is now day 4 in the search for 5-year-old Taylor Rose Williams. The little girl first reported missing early Wednesday morning, but now the sheriff's office says she might have been missing for weeks, if not months. The sheriff says Taylor's mother has stopped cooperating with law enforcement. On your sides, Kaylee Tracy is traveling to Birmingham, Alabama, investigating that state's connection to Taylor Williams' disappearance. Jacksonville Sheriff Mike Williams says most of Taylor's extended family lives in Alabama. The little girl's dad lives in Montgomery, and yesterday we went to his home to talk with him. He told us he had no comment regarding the little girl's disappearance. And Kaylee now brings us up to date in the search.
It's just brought back that same thing, that anxiety of, hoping that they find her, and that stress of that. It just bothers me.
1 month ago, Crystal Bryant's Bakery helped in the community efforts to find 3-year-old Camille McKinney, nicknamed Cupcake.
Everybody, came together to look for her. And that was the first time, I think, since I've lived here, I've ever seen all of us on one accord. Like everybody on one accord. Everybody looking for this baby.
Bryant held a fundraiser for reward money in Cupcake's disappearance. That girl went missing from...
Let me say thank you real quick to Green Eyes Reed. Good to see you in the building. Always going to support the AFC. From my heart to yours, Green Eyes Reed, thank you for your donation. So I want to say thank you to you and Jimmy D. If you guys are still listening, I appreciate you guys for supporting.
From a Birmingham birthday party.
Yes, this is another Cupcake situation I'm afraid of, yes.
Her body was found in a landfill a few weeks later.
Everybody put up their purple ribbons. The city hall was purple because that was her favorite color.
She says hearing about Taylor's disappearance reopens this city's wound.
We were all reliving it again. It's like we were just looking for a 3-year-old. Now this is a 5-year-old baby. These are babies.
Bryant says watching Jacksonville come together to find Taylor also reminds her of Birmingham's search for Cupcake.
As a community, we need to be the supporters. So for Jacksonville, I'm hoping that they can all stick together, stay together, and continue to pray and hope that they can find the baby.
Just 1 month after helping with the search for one missing little girl, Brian says she's willing to help again.
I've been sharing Taylor, now I share everybody's who's missing, because any way I can help, I want to be able to help.
Man, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I have a bad feeling that this is probably gonna turn out bad. I don't know what's up with this internet. There's not much I could do about it. Uh-oh. Let's try to get that fixed. I have a feeling that this is gonna turn out bad. I hope that it turns out good, and maybe hope that wherever this baby is or whoever has this baby, that they just turn her in. I don't understand why a person would go through so much to try to get rid of these kids.
The search for a missing 5-year-old girl is intensifying today after her mother stopped cooperating with police. An Amber Alert was issued after Taylor Williams was reported missing Wednesday in Jacksonville, Florida, but investigators say it's been weeks since she was last seen. Maria Villarreal is outside her home in Jacksonville, Florida right now. Maria, good morning to you. Does this mean that investigators are now focusing on the mother?
Well, good morning, Gail. Right now, the sheriff is telling us that they are exploring every possibility. Brianna Williams said when she woke up Wednesday morning, her daughter was gone. But the sheriff is now saying there are some inconsistencies in her story.
Search teams have knocked on more than 600 doors, looking inside dumpsters and divers scouring a nearby lake, hoping to find 5-year-old Taylor Williams.
I feel bad, and that's our job, to help find this little girl.
And while nothing substantial has been found, volunteers say they don't want to give up until they find out what happened to her.
We know that Brianna Williams was the last person to see Taylor, and we need for her to cooperate with us.
Sheriff Mike Williams says Taylor's mom, Brianna, was initially working with police, but is now no longer cooperating.
We were talking to her about some inconsistencies in her statement, and that's when she chose to stop cooperating with us.
The young girl's mother reportedly told police when she woke up Wednesday morning, Taylor wasn't in her bedroom and the back door was open. But Sheriff Williams says investigators do not believe the 5-year-old walked away from the home. Law enforcement curtailed search efforts Thursday evening. Over the weekend, Taylor's family moved out of this apartment complex. Tiffany Nicole says she helped them Sunday.
The whole 45 minutes we were there loading things up, I never once saw a child.
It is strange because I didn't even know she had a little girl.
Investigators are asking anyone who's seen Taylor with her mother in the area in the last 6 months to call police.
So we remain hopeful that we'll find Taylor. We're not going to stop in our efforts to locate her.
24 hours since a child was last seen in her Jacksonville home.
Now an Amber Alert has been issued for the missing 5-year-old girl.
Volunteers, along with over 100 police officers, are working around the clock looking for any signs of little Taylor Williams. News 6 reporter Mark Lehman joins us now with the latest on the investigation.
This morning, it seems there are more questions than answers when it comes to the search for missing 5-year-old Taylor Williams. Investigators say they have no leads in the case, but we are hearing from one woman who recently helped the family move, and she says she saw no sign of the girl during that move.
What happened to 5-year-old Taylor Williams? That's the question so many are trying to answer in Jacksonville after her mother, Brianna Williams, says she disappeared from her room before sunrise on Wednesday. Since then, dozens of officers and community members have been searching for any sign of the girl, including Tiffany Nicole, who says she helped the family move in days earlier.
I didn't see a child. I didn't hear a child. But I did see, some toys in the apartment.
Nicole says Williams briefly mentioned her daughter, but never saw any sign of the girl during the move.
Let's hear that again.
And community members have been searching for any sign of the girl, including Tiffany Nicole, who says she helped the family move in days earlier.
I didn't see a child. I didn't hear a child. But I did see, some toys in the apartment.
Nicole says Williams briefly mentioned her daughter, but never saw any sign of the girl during the move.
But again, we didn't hear any noises. We didn't hear a child. Never saw a child come out.
Yes, again, to Cynthia, that they also stated in this story that this baby could have been missing for months. They have no idea how long this baby was missing. And I don't know, with her having, with the mom having military training, I'm just saying you definitely can't put anything past her. But that also gives me a lot more reason for concern because maybe she could be good at covering up her tracks. I'm hoping that's not the case, but too much of the stuff doesn't add up. And the fact that the mom stopped participating and cooperating, that's not a good sign at all. Not a good sign.
Briefly mentioned her daughter, but never saw any sign of the girl during the move.
But again, we didn't hear any noises. We didn't hear a child. Never saw a child come out. And mind you, we were at this apartment for 45 minutes to load up her stuff.
Investigators have been focusing on Williams' home and also the apartment complex where
Wesley said that he thinks that this baby might not be alive. And Wesley, I hope that you're wrong, and I hope that we can actually do a story where we find this baby and everything is okay. We're hoping. So I'm hoping, but it's not looking really good. Yes, inconsistencies in her story, yes. And that's when she stopped talking. That's not a good thing.
where the family lived at until Sunday. Divers searched a pond there and officers looked.
Lanisha, I hope not. Y'all can see what Lanisha wrote? I hope not. She said she could have killed her and put her in a military bag on deployment and dumped her over the ship. God, dog. Ooh. Man, I'd hate to think that that was the case. Man, this just sucks thinking about it. But I got a few videos for you guys to take a look at, so I'm not going to do a lot of talking. I'm going to be doing a lot more showing you guys videos, okay? So when you guys come in, if you would, click that thumbs up. I know the stream acts a little funny sometimes, but if y'all would, help me out, click that thumbs up, and maybe here in a little bit it'll clear up, okay?
Through a dumpster for evidence, both yielding little progress in the search for Taylor.
Now, investigators say there were no signs of foul play at the home where Taylor was reported missing. This morning, we are expecting to get an update on the search efforts from law enforcement, and we'll keep you updated with what we learn. For now, reporting in the newsroom, Mark Lehman getting results.
And now to a developing story, a missing child that turned into an Amber Alert out of Jacksonville. 5-year-old Taylor Williams was reported missing on Wednesday morning. Our Lauren St. Germain joins us now in the studio. And Lauren, I know the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office just gave us an update on that search. What did they say?
Yeah, Wendy.
Let me read what Sherlyn said. And Sherlyn is actually expressing sentiments that a lot of us are thinking. Her mother knows what happened, and I hope she's alive in my heart, but we don't believe that she is. And the mother, want to stop talking, and she knows how to get rid of a body because she has the training to cover her tracks. I just know that military training can teach you some things that you could utilize in a situation like this.
We just learned a few new details from Sheriff Mike Williams, and the big one is that he said Taylor's mom, Brianna, stopped cooperating with investigators. The sheriff also said right now they don't have...
Can we get about 30 more people to click that thumbs up, and I'll be pretty happy with that, okay? Again, as a reminder, if you're watching, if you're listening, even if it's buffering, click the thumbs up anyway. Help me out, okay?
Any suspects or persons of interest. Police did say on Wednesday, Brianna Williams, the mom, told them she saw Taylor in her pajamas in bed at midnight, but then when she woke up the next morning, the back door was open and Taylor was gone. Since then, hundreds of law enforcement officers and volunteers have been searching. At the press conference within the last hour, the sheriff said they don't believe the 5-year-old just walked away.
We're hoping she's not alone, and if she and we hope that if she is with a family member or a friend, we're begging, we're asking that you would reach out to us.
Lanisha said that they don't check your bags. They load them. That is, let me see. They load them. That is it. I know my husband was in the Navy for 20 years. What's up, Last Chance? They don't check your bags, and he was in the Navy for 20 years. I'll have to take your word for it. And I'm pretty sure that this mother probably knows that. I think that she should be arrested just on the fact that she stopped cooperating. What do you guys think about that? Do y'all agree with that or disagree? I think that should indicate guilt until they can try to get to some resolution for this baby, because she was the last one with her. I think that she should also be held accountable about where her kid is, and she stopped cooperating. To me, that should be an arrestable offense by itself.
So the sheriff said the mom stopped cooperating after authorities pointed out that some parts of her story weren't exactly matching up. The sheriff says at this point, they're still not ruling anything out. And right now, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office wants anyone who saw Taylor and her mom together within the last 6 months to call 911. We have all the information you need to know about this Amber Alert and the search. It's in this article on our website, abcactionnews.com. Share it with your friends.
developing out of Jacksonville.
Who was that that said that? Y'all said that, who was that? Vinny said that she did it for insurance money? What insurance money? What insurance money are you referring to, Vinny? You know that black people don't have insurance.
Today, the search for a missing 5-year-old girl is intensifying after her mother stopped cooperating with investigators. An Amber Alert was issued after Taylor Williams was reported missing on Wednesday. But investigators say it has been weeks since she was last seen. Lana Harris from our sister station in Jacksonville joins us this afternoon. Lana, what are you hearing from deputies today?
Allison, at this point, all that investigators know for sure is that Taylor is missing and that she could be anywhere. So she and her mother had reportedly just moved into this home behind me on Sunday, this past Sunday, and by Wednesday, she was reported missing. Her mother called the police, said the back door was unlocked, and she was gone. So then what began as an ask for the community to be on the lookout for this 5-year-old little girl who went missing from her home in the middle of the night has now turned into police asking if anyone's even seen her in the last 6 months, because police say the last person to see her was her mother, and her mother has now stopped cooperating with them. Now,
let me poke a hole in the insurance theory. This is the thing. You know, if you're in the military and you're part of the military, that they're going to be very, very detailed about this investigation. And even more so because you're in the military. And I don't think that she would have done something like this in order to try to collect from the benefits, hashtag babies for benefits. Maybe she's dumb enough to have done that, but I don't think that she would have done it for insurance. I think that she might have done it just to keep away the kid away from the father. But then again, we haven't heard from him, but I would love if he would come out and actually put out more information than what he did. Okay. But I don't think that she would have did it because she would have been under way more scrutiny because she was in the military. There's no way she would have been able to get away with it.
neighbors here tell us they've never seen a child since Brianna moved in on Sunday. A couple who says Brianna hired them from Craigslist to help her move into this home say they also never saw a child the entire time. Even Taylor's dad, who lives in Illinois, says it's been a minute since he's last seen his daughter. So in yesterday's press conference, Jacksonville Sheriff Mike Williams said not only do they not believe 5-year-old Taylor walked out of the home on her own in those dark hours of Wednesday morning, they no longer know if that's the day she actually went missing or if that's just the day her mother reported it. He said she could have been gone for weeks, if not months ago. Sheriff Williams says her mother's cooperation stopped when police noticed the things she was telling them weren't matching up.
As we began to dig into different aspects of the mother's statements, yesterday we were talking to her about some inconsistencies in her statement, and that's when she chose to stop cooperating with us. So she is not here at JSO. She has not been arrested, and at this point, we just need her to cooperate with the investigation.
Now, when asked if Brianna is now a person of interest or a suspect, the sheriff said that they do not have enough evidence to do that, or she already would have been arrested. So they are still holding out hope that she will help them find her daughter. In the meantime, if you would like to help find her daughter, they are asking anybody who has seen Brianna and Taylor in the same place in the past 6 months to contact them immediately. There is now a $4,000 reward for any tip that leads to Taylor.
So that's what it is. They don't have enough evidence to try to charge her and hold her. So that I can understand. Let's go ahead and move on. We got a few more videos. Let's keep going. This is actually part of the search effort right here. So this is what you guys are looking at. Says she needs jail time. This is unacceptable from her mother, point blank, period. I feel you, LaShondra. I really do. Kamidra said that, and I hope that's how you say your name, said that that's crazy. All you hear is parents killing little kids, and it might be sacrificing their own children. Every day you hear about a child. I'm a long-term, let me see, Angel said, I'm a long-term military family, and if you have a child, you have to have a secondary custodian in legal writing in case of war or stationing somewhere not conducive with a child going. Okay, very interesting. Very interesting. Her cooperating is all the evidence that they need. I agree with you, but they have not arrested her. Let me go ahead and move on to the next video. That one didn't have any audio to it. Let's go ahead and move on.
Robert, that woman's name is Tiffany Nicole, and the two met after Williams posted an ad on Craigslist asking for help with moving into her new place. Now, what's interesting is that Nicole says that she never saw a child, even though Williams mentioned that she had one.
When I went up to the door wasn't shut all the way. It was open about an inch.
Tiffany Nicole recalls the moment she met Brianna Williams on Sunday. Nicole answered an ad on Craigslist and agreed to help Williams move from her Southside apartment to this home in Brentwood.
And as soon as I reached up my hand to go knock on the door, that's when Miss Brianna opened the door.
Nicole says when she arrived at Williams' apartment, she noticed a few things out of the ordinary.
For one, she told my fiance that there was a daughter in the bathroom and he heard water running.
But Nicole said neither she nor her fiance ever laid eyes on little Taylor.
We never saw a child. We did load up a pink and purple toddler bed onto that trailer and took it to the Ivy house, but that was it as far as kid relation goes.
She said Williams' behavior was also unusual.
She wasn't really communicative with anybody and she was very short. And then when we left to go to the house over there off of Ivy, when we got to that home, you know, the doors were already open on the house. She didn't even have to walk up there to unlock the doors or anything. They were wide open and she went straight to the back where...
I don't understand how you are the last person that had your kid. You are the last person that saw your kid. You stop answering questions after you give a story that does not make any fucking sense. And then she just, I'm going to just stop answering questions. I'm sorry, but how is that not an arrestable offense? Some people are saying that there are loopholes in the system. I just do not understand this. You can't account for an entire human being and you're not going to be arrested for that? Like, come on, like, where's the accountability? But then again, that's what we talk about a lot here, is the accountability is missing. There's absolutely no way. There's no way that you are the last person with this kid and you can't explain for shit where your own 5-year-old kid is. Sorry, that makes no sense at all. Let's move on.
There's like a 2-car concrete garage in the back. And she just stood there in the back of the corner with her phone in her hand doing nothing.
Nicole says it took about 2 hours to finish the job, and when it was time to leave, Williams stayed behind in the same place.
Didn't appear to be in a hurry, and when we left, you know, she was still standing in that garage.
And Nicole also said that Williams actually overpaid her. The two had initially agreed to do the job for $250, but Williams actually ended up paying $300 to complete the job. For now, reporting live, camera.
Okay, I'm going to rewind that so y'all can hear it. I know it might be buffering. Let me let y'all hear how much she offered to pay them compared to what she actually paid them to help her move. Let's listen to that part again. Let's not miss that.
And Nicole also said that Williams actually overpaid her. The two had initially agreed to do the job for $250, but Williams actually ended up paying $300 to complete the job. For now, reporting live, Cameron Leppinger, First Coast News.
Maybe it's buffering. Maybe you guys can't hear that part. I want y'all to hear that again. Listen again. Let me know that y'all can hear what he just said. She offered an amount of money to help her move into her new place. This black woman gave them, thank you, somebody heard it. This black woman, knowing that black women in general, hashtag not all, hashtag don't get in your feels, but normally our people are, we act like we're strapped for cash, right? Matter of fact, think about this. We have a problem going to restaurants, and I want y'all to hear me dearly on this one. We have a problem going to restaurants and tipping the person, the waiter, or whoever waits on us, tipping them $5, tipping them $10 for a meal that we had. But she's going to tip this woman extra money for really no reason other than doing the job that she contracted them for and going to pay them more? An extra $50 tip, really? What black people y'all know do that? Where they at? Huh? Where are the black people out there that would tip somebody an extra $50? Now, I will tell you this. Let me see. You said you're just tuning in. I'm a new subscriber. Love your videos. Well, thank you very much. I definitely appreciate that. I try to give you guys a fair assessment of what I see going on in our communities, in our world, in our United States of America. I just want parents to be a hell of a lot more responsible for our children and stop abusing, misusing, and killing our children. That's really all we stand for, the advocates for children. That's what we are. So I appreciate you being here. So I'll say some things that might seem inflammatory sometimes, but if you think about it or listen a little bit longer, I am very, very fair with all situations, with all races, regardless of whether it's something political or something that's more of a social issue, right? That's pretty much what we stand for, okay? When have y'all ever known black people to tip an extra $50? I know white people that do it. I know Mexican people that do it. I know a lot of other races of people that do it. I have never known for black people to just throw on some extras just for the hell of it. Never known it to happen. Never known it to happen. Never, maybe I'm dumb. Maybe it's a ton of black people out there that would just give away free money. I don't know. I don't know.
And Nicole also said that Williams actually overpaid her. The two had initially agreed to do the job for $250.
I'm sorry, black people don't overpay for anything. Matter of fact, how many of these motherfuckers do y'all see going to the McDonald's and complaining about the dollar value menu? They go up in the Wendy's, they go up in Popeyes, they go up in all of these trash ass food places, Taco Bells, wherever else. Pizza, when they order pizza to the house, y'all don't see them tipping no $50. I'm just saying, I got a ton of videos that I need to try to post in our group, but there's a ton of people continuing to post videos of people fighting in the goddamn Popeyes over some $5 chicken. So you mean to tell me niggas is fighting over $5 chicken and $5 chicken sandwiches and $5 value meals and Happy Meals and all of this other bullshit that don't cost anything, that is literally not worth the cost of production because it's fake food? But we'll talk about that another day. If y'all like eating steroid-laced food, then it is what it is. I feel you. I'm not going to be mad at you. I'm just not going to give it to me and my children, right? But nonetheless, I have never known black people to overpay for anything. Matter of fact, y'all know this to be a fact whenever black people be like, oh man, you can't give me the hookup, man. Oh man, yeah, I get paid, man, in a couple weeks, man. You think you can loan me something? You think you can, you know what I'm saying? Niggas is the kings of and queens of finessing. Tell me, am I lying? Niggas is the kings of finessing. Nickel and diamond motherfuckers. There's no way that I'm going to believe that this woman was being, this black woman, this black mother was just being benevolent and giving these white people an extra $50. Just, here, let me go ahead and give you a little extra. Bullshit. I don't believe it. No day of the week.
And Nicole also said that
we are always looking for discounts. Thank you, Bolo. That's what I'm saying. Thank you, Wesley. You know what I was trying to say. Y'all know some of these sayings that black people say. Come on, dog. Hook me up, dog. Hook your boy up, man. We boys. We black on black business, man. Hook me up. We want to support you, man. I know the meal is $20, man, but you give it to me for 10. I know you didn't pay all that money for all that product. You can hook me up, man. Niggas is not overpaying for a goddamn thing.
When we left, she was still standing in that garage.
And Nicole also said that Williams actually overpaid.
Say, move on. I'll move on if you donate to the show, Gina. Well, we don't mind you being here. I will gladly move on, and I'll gladly talk about what you want me to talk about. If you hit one of those links in the description box, being Cash App or PayPal, I'll be more than happy to say whatever it is that you want me to say and run my show how you want me to run it. But for the meantime, If the people that have channel memberships and moderator wrenches say that I'm doing just fine, if the people that are here on a regular basis say I'm doing fine, then guess what? I'm going to go with what they say. So all it is, man. I just show a little preferential treatment. That's all it is.
And Nicole also said that Williams actually overpaid her. The two had initially agreed to do the job for $250, but Williams actually ended up paying $300 to complete the job. For now, reporting live, Cameron Leppinger, First Coast News, on your side. Heather?
Very interesting, Cam. Thanks so much. So one more look here at Taylor Rose Williams. If you have any information or if you think you may have seen her recently, investigators are asking you to give them a call. The numbers are there on your screen. Either call 911 or the non-emergency number at JSO 630-05.
Okay, so you guys see her information on the screen here. If you guys have some information, of course, you guys will be able to watch this on the replay. You can see her information right here. Let me see. Angel said, what's your Cash App? It's the $ symbol, DJ Just JOK. It's actually in the description box. If one of my moderators can copy it, then you can paste the link in there if you want to find out what the Cash App is. But it's the $ symbol, DJ JUSTJAYOK. So it's also in the description box. You should be able to just touch that link and click it, and it should take you there. If it doesn't, let me know, and I can try to help you out with that, Angel. Be more than happy to help you out, especially if you want to donate. I will absolutely take a pause for the cause for that, okay? Here's the next video. Now, here's some more information on her, and they've listed her name as Taylor Williams. It's pretty self-explanatory how you spell her name. She was missing as of November the 6th, so this was only 4 days ago. 5 years old. She's 5 years right now. She's a female, black, with brown eyes, black hair, 3 foot tall, weighs roughly about 50 pounds, out of Jacksonville, Florida, out of Duval County. Okay. And they say that a Florida child is, a Florida missing child alert has been issued for Taylor Williams, last seen in the area of the 600 block of Ivy Street in Jacksonville, Florida. And she was last seen wearing purple and pink pajamas, because I don't know if y'all can read this because the text is a little bit small. But if you have any information on the whereabouts of this child, please contact the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office at 904-630-0500, or you can call 911. That's always a safe bet if you feel like you have information that'll lead them directly to this baby, okay? So don't play with that information. If you know where she is, if you saw something, you can say something. If you haven't, hold off on it, okay?
Now to a developing story out of Jacksonville tonight. Police are still searching for 5-year-old Taylor Williams. This little girl was reported missing on...
Okay, Lanisha asked, when is the last time the dad saw her? I had that in my story earlier, and if you didn't hear that part, it didn't specify the last time that the dad saw her, but he said he hadn't seen his baby in a while. So I don't know what a while is. I don't know if that's days, weeks, or months. I don't know, because she's only 5 years old, but they did not specify that. But if I can catch up with the father, that'd be awesome. I would love to hear from him directly, okay? Now, I hear my phone vibrating. That is somebody that donated. So what I want to do is I want to take a pause for the cause. And I want to say thank you to a guy in the chat that you guys know by the name of Bolo. And Bolo TV said, I will always support the AFC for life. And he donated by way of the Cash App. So, Bolo, if you're listening, from my heart to yours, brother, thank you for your donation and your show of support. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much.
On Wednesday, but police say it's still not clear when anyone last saw her. Alex Ositis from our sister station in Jacksonville joins us tonight. Alex, set the scene for us tonight. What are police looking for at this point?
Well, things here in Jacksonville, the south side, have changed just over the last 3 days, and we were expecting to...
Let me see. Maddie said, I talk too much on the topic and keep on rewinding the same video like we're stupid. Well, this is the thing. Like, I know that they're trolls, guys. Look, I've been doing this for a long time. Y'all know that I know that they're trolls. I'm very familiar. But this is the thing. If anybody doesn't like the way that I run the channel, I totally understand. But all you have to do is just Google search the... Matter of fact, you can actually simply exit this video and just go on YouTube and just type in her name, which is Taylor Rose Williams. She is 5 years old. Anybody who's here is actually only here to hear my commentary. So if anybody is not here to hear my commentary, then I kindly ask you to just exit the channel, hit the thumbs up on the way out, and have a blessed day. Everybody else that's here wants to hear what my take is on it. I'm pretty sure that's what 99.9% of the people are here for. So I know people just want to type it in the chat and just say disparaging things. And it's okay. Let them do it. I don't mind. It's okay.
See that today after Sheriff Mike Williams here in Jacksonville told us that the scaling of efforts would start to happen. Now, we are aware of multiple scenes, even in different states, as the questions linger. Local, state, and national organizations have been called to assist in finding Taylor. Here in Jacksonville, though, alone, 300 officers knocked on 600 plus doors since the start of this investigation.
300 officers knocked on 600 doors. 300 police officers who could have been out fighting crime in Duval County instead were knocking on doors. So for anybody who needed police assistance and was wondering, well, damn, how come did it take 30 minutes for the police to get here? Well, they got 300 of them looking for one little girl that the mother is lying. That bitch is lying about the whereabouts of her kid. Wasting everybody's time. I get absolutely sick of dive teams looking for these babies. They're on horseback. They're walking. They're driving. They're digging through trash. They're looking through, knocking on people's doors, going through all of that when the people who last had them know where the kids are. That is problematic, and they're wasting everybody's precious time and resources. I'm sorry, but for people that pay taxes, y'all ought to be pissed off about that. Y'all that live out there in that area in Duval County, she's wasting y'all county tax dollars. Wasting all y'all money, okay? Let me say thank you real quick. I don't know if Veronica is in the chat, but Veronica just sent in a Cash App. So Veronica, if you were listening, I did just receive your Cash App, and I will shout all of you guys out as you guys continue to donate. So from my heart to yours, Veronica, thank you very much. Let me also shout out real quick to Gail. Gail, if you're listening, said not much, but keep it going. Gail, you sent something in, and I really appreciate that, and it all counts. It really does. It makes a difference, even if it's $1 or $100 or anything more. I really appreciate all of you guys doing that. So to Gail, to Veronica, to Bolo, Jimmy D, all of you guys, and also to Green Eyes Reed. I remember she donated by way of the super chat in the chat. So thank all of you guys. Okay, all right, here we go. Let's keep going. Let's back it up a little bit.
Though alone, 300 officers knocked on 600 plus doors since the start of this investigation on Wednesday. A dive team, K-9 units, and drone and helicopters used over the last 3 days. But as we've seen, this has been a shift today, as there have been fewer working on this case out in the field. Tonight, though, I spoke with Jay Howell, who founded the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children 35 years ago, and we wanted to know about the timeline investigators work on and whether there's a certain point if an Amber Alert is recalled, which has not been the case just yet for Taylor. Howell explained to us that as the clock ticks, it changes the dynamic of the search, particularly with key questions left unanswered. And of course, he has been watching this closely as this continues to play out in Jacksonville as well as in Alabama, as Taylor's family is.
In the past 30 minutes, News4Jax has learned the mother of missing 5-year-old Taylor Williams is back at work at NAS Jax. The News4Jax I-team has been digging into...
Wow, so she's back at work. Y'all hear that? The mom is back at work.
Work at NAS Jax. 5-year-old Taylor Williams is back at work at NAS Jax. The News4Jax I-team has been digging into Brianna Williams' past. The sheriff says she is no longer cooperating with the investigation, and police don't know when anyone other than the child's mother saw the little girl alive.
A News4Jax I-team investigator Kelly Wiley is joining us from Brentwood, the neighborhood where Williams was living when she reported her daughter missing Wednesday morning. Kelly.
Bolo sent in one more Cash App, and let me read his message. And he said, Just Jay, you're doing God's work. Bless you and your baby. Appreciate that, man. Thank you, Bolo. If you're still listening, man, I appreciate that, bro. Thank you for your Cash App. Appreciate that, man. Thank you.
It's been more than 48 hours since a mother reported that her daughter was not in her bed. The door to their home was unlocked. We're now getting Navy records, and we're learning more about Brianna Williams, that mother. We're also hearing from the mayor on this. Mayor Lenny Curry speaking today about the search for 5-year-old Taylor Williams and how he feels about the case.
Angry, praying, but hopeful. I mean, you gotta remain hopeful.
Biographical data obtained from the Navy shows mother Brianna Williams moved to Jacksonville.
So there's her middle name, Shantae. So if y'all want to look her up specifically, it's Brianna Shantae, Shontae Williams. That will lead you to her specifically.
In April 2018 from the Carrier Airborne Early Warning Squadron in Norfolk, Virginia. The mother, once a valedictorian for her high school, has been awarded 9 times for her service. The awards ranging from a Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Medal to a National Defense Service Medal. Some neighbors in Brentwood, where her daughter was reported missing Tuesday, say she'd only moved in a week prior.
And you know what? That's sad how she could be given all of these medals and she's so educated. And this is something that Tommy talks about that I think about a lot. I think about this a lot, about how our sisters try to claim that they're so educated. And I'm like, okay, fine, they're educated. I know they're the most enrolled, but they're educated. I get it, all right? But the thing is when you don't take that education and that background and employ it in the proper way, and you just make a bunch of dumb ass decisions, to me, all of that education, all of that training, all of these accolades that you've been given, to me, doesn't mean shit if you treat your kids like shit. Y'all hear me? All of those special little pats on the back that she got and all of that good stuff, and I don't think any of that means a damn thing if you treat your kids like shit. It means nothing.
And they'd never seen her with 5-year-old Taylor.
Yeah, my kids play out here often and they didn't see any child. It's really sad because it's really close, too close for comfort for me, and I hope they find the child alive.
I'm gonna let y'all hear her statement again. She said all that time they were living there, she never saw a kid. Somebody said she moved to the worst part of town. Well, you'd have to tell me because I'm not familiar with Florida like that, so I'll trust your word on that.
Yeah, my kids play out here often and they didn't see any child. It's really sad because it's really close, too close for comfort for me, and I hope they find the child alive.
The mayor of Jacksonville echoing the call from detectives as day 3 of the search for Taylor comes to an end.
It's terrible. You know, I've been in touch talking to the sheriff every day since the search began. You know, they're in the same situation, same scenario. They're asking people in public, the citizens, if anyone has seen her with her mom in the last 6 months, to reach out to JSO. But, you know, our first responders and members of the community are out looking.
Wish they weren't playing those drums in the background. That's a little hard to hear. Now, for the people that are currently here watching this, on the replay, for the people that can hear me, on the replay, I'm going to shorten this up for tomorrow. If it's buffering, do not fret. I will upload a better video here tomorrow, so I'm going to edit it some tonight and re-upload it for you guys to be able to watch tomorrow without any of the buffering, so it'll be a lot smaller and a lot easier to be able to digest, okay? So again, to the people that are listening, I see that it is buffering. I can see it. It's not nothing I can do about it right now, but because I have this recorded, I'll be able to upload this for you guys here tomorrow and give you guys a stream without all of the mess ups and without all of the extra stuff in there, okay? Got a few more videos. Let's keep going because there were a lot of videos on YouTube on this.
A major development in the disappearance of this 5-year-old girl. Jacksonville Sheriff says Taylor Williams' mother has stopped talking with investigators.
Her daughter's missing. She was the last person to see her. We do not believe that she walked away, that the daughter walked away, so you know, we need her to cooperate with this investigation.
A sign of the shift in this case, just within the past hour, the police command center came down in Brentwood. Now we have a live look from Sky 4 at the Southside apartment community where the child's mom, Brianna Williams, just moved from last weekend. A crime scene unit and police have been there all day long. The sheriff has one big question for the community. Have you seen Taylor Williams and her mother together at any time in the past 6 months? If so, the sheriff is asking you to call the sheriff's office at once.
Sheriff Williams says police do not know the last time the little girl was seen alive by anyone other than her mom. Sources tell News4Jax cadaver dogs made a positive hit on her mother's car, meaning there could be evidence of decomposition inside.
Oh no! Did y'all hear that? Let me rewind that again. Let me turn this volume up again. I need to make sure y'all heard that. I'm going to say it again if you didn't hear it. It said that cadaver dogs have made a hit on the car, meaning that it's a possibility that there was something that was decomposing in Brianna Williams' car. Did y'all hear that? Let's listen to that little tidbit of information again. Let's listen again. Can y'all type that in the chat if y'all can hear me? Decomposition. Cadaver dogs made a hit on decomposition in the car.
The sheriff is asking you to call the sheriff's office at once.
Sheriff Williams says police do not know the last.
Matter of fact, how was that not an arrestable offense? Okay, I get it. You don't have enough evidence to charge her in some instances, okay? But what about the fact that cadaver dogs made a hit on the car and sensed decomposition? How is that not an arrestable offense by itself? Y'all hear this?
To call the sheriff's office at once.
Wow. Sheriff Williams says police do not know the last time the little girl was seen alive by anyone other than her mom. Sources tell News4Jax cadaver dogs made a positive hit on her mother's car, meaning there could be evidence of decomposition. The little girl was seen alive by anyone other than her mom. Sources tell News4Jax cadaver dogs made a positive hit on her mother's car, meaning there could be evidence of decomposition.
A positive hit on the car for decomposition.
6 months. If
police do not know the last time the little girl was seen alive by anyone other than her mom. Sources tell News4Jax cadaver dogs made a positive hit on her mother's car, meaning there could be evidence of decomposition inside. We have several crews covering this story, and we begin with News4Jax reporter Jim.
Like, I understand it's something you can't send her to prison for, but I think that's something you ought to be able to hold her in jail over. You guys kind of understand where I'm coming from? When they talk about evidence, that information right there could be used as evidence to say that the cadaver dogs made, let me see, human decomposition is undeniable. Dogs are trained. Thank you, Don Love. That's part of what I'm saying. Like they're saying a positive hit, meaning that they are positive that the dog sensed something that would be an indication of decomposition of a human being. Like they trained them to know the difference. To me, that's something that you can hold her in jail over, as opposed to leaving her out there in society and she could continue to keep covering up her tracks. Keep in mind, she was in the military. She's not a dummy. She's very smart, and she might be able to get away with this the longer they leave her out of jail. Hold her in jail, not necessarily prison. You do prison time when you're convicted in court. You do jail time when you're being held in lieu of evidence.
Piggott, who just spoke to the sheriff within the past hour. Jim.
You know, this is the first time that we've heard from the sheriff since the little girl went missing. He had a lot to say, but there were a lot of questions, though, that he would not answer.
Baby Moore asked a very pertinent question. Did this little girl go to any school? She was 5 years old. Maybe she was going to pre-K. Maybe she was in daycare. We don't know. Don said a dead human has a distinct smell. I've heard that. I don't know it to be a fact. I don't ever want to smell a dead human, but I've heard that it is very, very distinct.
Number one, he would say that Brianna Williams, that is Taylor's mother, was not cooperating with them at all. She started to cooperate at first, and now she's basically just shut down at this point. He also says that she's not been arrested, and she is no longer here at JSO. Now, the main thing, and as you had mentioned before that he's telling us, is that nobody can say when that little Taylor was last seen alive, other than her mother, within the last 6 months. And the sheriff is very concerned about that. Here's what he said.
So we're still asking the public's help with providing us any additional detail they can about Taylor's whereabouts. Specifically, we are asking that anyone who has seen Taylor and Brianna Williams together in Jacksonville within the last 6 months to reach out to us and let us know.
Okay, now Natoya is saying the military could have, let me see, I'm surprised the military hadn't locked her up. I'm an Army wife and they don't play about family violence. Lanisha said that her husband was in the Navy for 10 years. So let me ask you ladies this. In this situation, can the military overrule the police and arrest her based on what they believe that she might be guilty of? I don't know how that works. I don't know if they can step in and take some action when the police are not taking action. I don't know how that works. Y'all got to let me know what you think, especially if you guys are familiar with military, and if y'all were wives of people that were in the military or military family, then y'all let me know what y'all think.
It was interesting. I was asking the sheriff about what school or kindergarten that Taylor attended. He said they didn't have that information. The only thing they knew is that she was at daycare at NAS Jax. Again, anybody that has seen those two together, they are urged to call the sheriff's department. The police, we also asked about the Department of Children and Families, if they had investigated this family here. The sheriff wouldn't comment on that at all. He really wouldn't comment about the evidence that they've obtained as well from the car or from the apartment and the house. And the sheriff also said that police in Alabama has also been contacted and they are investigating this as well. It was in Alabama where Taylor's father lives, and the family had moved from there at one time too. So there is concern there, and since obviously she had not been seen by many people within the last 5 months, that's what they really are hoping to focus on at this time. And the sheriff also says that they continue to look at evidence, and we did ask him what would it take for Taylor's mother to become a suspect. Here's what he said.
Okay, so here we go. He's getting ready to answer our question. What will it take to make her a suspect? Let me thank Michelle G., who was the person that sent me this particular story and said hashtag AFC, which is the Advocates for Children. Bless you, Jay. You're doing an amazing job. And Michelle, if you're listening, I really, really appreciate your kind words. Thank you so much, not only for sending the PayPal, but definitely thank you for sending me the story so I could take a look at this and at least try to help continue to spread this word, right? If there are more people out there that are sharing this story, then by all means, that's what we need. We need more people to continue to advocate for these children and talk about this stuff.
Sheriff, would you call the mother a person of interest in this case?
So at this point, again, nothing's off the table. So, we won't take the steps to say she's a suspect in the case, but we do know this. We do know that her daughter is missing. She was the last person to see her. We do not believe that she walked away.
Now, I've been out in the Brentwood area for the past day and a half, and today there's a sign of showing what's happened out there. The command post is coming down. They had over 600 officers at a time working on this case. The sheriff.
600 human beings. Somebody, can y'all type a 600 in the chat if y'all are listening? 600. Matter of fact, can we get 165 thumbs up if you guys are here, and if y'all can hear my voice, hit that thumbs up for me. 600 human beings on the search for this baby. That's how much resources they've invested. And I want y'all to think about this. For all the people that continue to keep saying that white people are bad, white people are this and that, these benevolent white people continue to keep donating to you niggas GoFundMes and looking for your nigga kids. I'm going to say that again. They continue to keep donating to your nigga GoFundMes and looking for your nigga kids. And y'all keep trying to talk about that they're racist whites when it's nothing but whites trying to help find these babies. When y'all are in trouble, who you gonna call? Certainly not motherfucking Ghostbusters. You call the damn same white police that you complain about. You call the popo to come over there, come help you out. And then what do you do when the popo get over there? You complain about what the popo do. I'm sorry, but I think that, I wouldn't be surprised if these so-called racist people just decide to take a step back and say, you know what? Y'all fix your own shit. Police yourselves, handle your own business. It is what it is. Would you be happy then?
Says they are still investigating. They said they could ramp this right back up. That's if Brianna Williams cooperates with them, they could ramp this right back up and get going again. But he says that's the main thing, is they need her to cooperate. We're live from the Sheriff's Department. Jim Pickett, Channel 4, the local station.
Jim, the sheriff was...
Thank you, Lanisha. Where is Black Lives Matter? I have not heard one Black Lives Matter representative even come to my channel and post a comment in support of any stories that we have done. Have y'all? Maybe I haven't seen the comment. I have not seen Sean King. I have not seen anybody that's got any of these activists. Where are they at? Why are they so motherfucking silent when you've got these innocent babies who can't speak for themselves? They cannot defend themselves against the tyranny of their caretakers. I want y'all to notice that I'm watching more and more people starting to utilize some of my terms, which is a good thing. I think it's a really good thing when I start to hear some of my words being repeated. It's not the first time they've ever been said, but I've noticed that people are starting to say them a lot more, which is a good thing, right? I have not seen any of these activists jump on any story. Y'all let me know. All they have to do is just use their platform to say, hey guys, this baby is missing. Help us find this baby. I don't want them to just jump in just because they think it was a white man that was the suspect or because it was a white woman that was the suspect. No. If Black lives really matter, then I think that if it is a black child, a black baby, or because y'all care more about girls than y'all do boys in America, how about the fact that it is a black girl? Since y'all put so much of a focus on beauty in this country, how about the fact that this little girl is a beautiful black little queen? So y'all not gonna look out for your queens when they need you most? Why is it that they only care about grown queens, but they don't care about little baby princesses that might grow up and grow into being queens? Don't y'all find that a little bit odd? They care so much about queens, but they don't care about the little princesses growing up that will eventually be queens. Quite ironic.
Closely questioned by all of you reporters, and there were things that it would indicate that the sheriff may have answers to that he was not willing to divulge what those answers were. The key thing is when you all the reporters focused in on the question about the daycare on the base. Tell us what the sheriff said about the daycare on the base and whether the child has actually been there, whether police know that the child has been to daycare on the base.
For the people that asked about daycare, here is their response. Here's the answer. Here we go. Y'all bear with me. I can see it buffering. Bear with me. We're almost done. Bear with me. I know. For Michelle and everybody else, you'll be able to watch this tomorrow really, really early in the morning. I'll upload a good copy of this so it's not going to be buffering.
That's the only thing they've heard, and that's the thing. They only can rely now from what the mother has been saying. We've been asking questions about that, and a lot of that information is coming from the Department of Children and Families. He had mentioned that they are involved, but he can't talk specifically about that. So as you had mentioned, Tom, there's a lot of generalities that they're saying, but just because they're collecting evidence in this case, a lot of evidence as we understand, but they can't talk about that at this point. They can't say if she is a suspect. They can only say that she is no longer cooperating with them.
And again, Jim, the key point the sheriff wanted to get across is anybody who has seen the mother and the child together in the past 6 months to contact the sheriff's office at once. Thank you, Jim. Jim Pickett reporting live from downtown.
So this morning, on 11/6/2019 at 7:22 this morning,
I don't know if y'all can hear this
to
video.
661 Ivy Street regarding a missing child.
See if you can hear this.
Upon arrival, officers learned that 5-year-old Taylor Williams was missing from her bedroom. Patrol officers began an immediate search for Taylor and notified missing persons detectives
I'm gonna see if you guys can
who
hear this
responded to
video.
the scene and immediately began the investigation. We've since expanded our search area and our manpower to include over 100 police officers and assisting personnel from different agencies. Taylor was last seen dressed in a pink and purple shirt, the pink shirt and purple pajama pants, no shoes. FDLE has completed an Amber Alert. And several neighbors are being searched, several neighborhoods are being searched, and several neighbors are being searched door to door. Our search area is expanded pretty wide. We really need help finding little Taylor. We ask the community if you see anyone or you see anything that looks like it may resemble Taylor. She's 3 feet tall. She's about 50 pounds. She's a black female. She's a beautiful young lady. If anyone in our community sees her, could you please help us?
See something, say something.
And to get her home and get her back safely.
Is she believed to be in any danger?
At this point, we're not ruling anything out. What we're doing is we're going to investigate this case from the very beginning. Missing person, abducted child, we're pulling out all stops, doing everything that we can.
Do you believe that she is with a relative or someone that she knows?
At this point, we don't know that.
Has the family given any indication of where she may be?
No, not yet.
Why did the search expand?
Well, it's a 5-year-old. And when you have someone as young as she's obviously in danger if she's missing. She was last seen about midnight last night. And at 5 years old, we know it's very urgent that we find her as quickly as possible.
Can you talk more about the resources being used? Are you searching by ground, air?
We're searching, we're using ground resources, mounted units, our air units involved. Our officers are going door to door on foot. We have homicide detectives, missing persons detectives, patrol officers. We have everyone out here to do everything that we can to locate Taylor.
Has the family given you any indication that she's known to wander in the past?
I don't have that information yet. This investigation is very early. We're very early into it. We don't have a lot of detail yet. We're still trying to gain some information, but as soon as we gather, we're definitely going to pass it on because we want to find Taylor.
The back door of the house was unlocked. Does that lead you to believe that she may have left on her own?
That's a possibility. Like I said, we're not ruling out any possibilities. We're not saying that it's criminal. We're not saying that it's not. We're not ruling out any possibilities. She could have walked off, but we are doing everything we can at this point to find her.
Are neighbors and family members being cooperative?
Yes, at this point, yes.
And it is an Amber Alert now?
There is an Amber Alert, yes. It was initially a missing and endangered child. It's been upgraded to an Amber Alert.
Did she live in the home or was she staying with family members?
From my understanding and the information that I was given, she lives at the home.
And there's no other vehicles or persons of interest at this point?
Not at this point.
Anytime a child goes missing, it's always a big concern. Can you talk about the efforts that you're going to put forth to find her safely?
We'll work until we can't work anymore. We'll trade out individuals, we'll trade out our officers, we'll get them rest, we'll get them fed, and we'll continue to search until we can locate her. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for your.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and wrap up there, and I'm going to give my closing thoughts. First and foremost, I want you guys to remember this little girl's face. That is 5-year-old Taylor Williams, Taylor Rose Williams. And she is currently still missing. We have hope that she's only missing as opposed to being deceased. But I'm going to tell you guys, if she's been missing this amount of time, and I'm going to tell you guys something. First and foremost, the cadaver dogs, based on the information they've reported, made a hit on the mother's car for a human decomposing body. Made a positive hit. That's why I believe that she should be arrested for that alone. But I'm sure they're probably just, like somebody said in the chat earlier, they're probably just trying to give her enough rope to hang herself. Okay? My next point is the fact that the father seemed like he wanted to be active. Again, the father's name is Maurice Tate. He's the biological father. And based on what he said it's been a minute since he last saw his daughter. And if he says a minute, that we don't know how long that could be. That could have been a year, maybe all 5 years. We don't know. But the fact that this woman has military training, very bright, and the fact that this person decided to just stop cooperating, in my opinion, that is not the behavior of a good parent. How many of you guys agree with that? I'm going to say that again. The fact that this mother is not cooperating or stopped cooperating, stopped giving answers, to me, that indicates a person's guilt, and that is the sign of a bad parent. To me, that is a huge ass red flag, and I fear the worst for this baby. I wish as a father, I wish I could make 100 more me's. I wish there were 100 more me's, because I would absolutely try to be a father to as many of these children as I could to try to protect them. I feel sorry for the family of this kid. To Maurice Tate, to brother, if you're listening, to you, I would encourage you to get in contact with me. Email me. I'd be more than happy to allow you to borrow my platform to be able to speak your voice about this story and tell me what you think. But I fear the worst in this story, but we will definitely give you guys an update regardless of what happens. We'll definitely use our platform to continue to advocate for children first. We are the AFC. The people in the chat are the AFC. The people who are channel memberships in that chat, you see them. They are the AFC as well. You know why? Because we advocate for the babies first. Taylor Rose Williams, I'm going to say a prayer for you tonight, sister, and I hope that we find you, but we hope that we find you healthy, alive, and breathing. That's what we hope to report next, okay? I love you guys from my heart to yours. Y'all have a blessed night. Prayer hands up, man.